Vic Faust here, Megan Marie Moret with you, Projo in the house as well. St. Louis has been hit with a ton of storms. We know, I mean,
Yes.
going back since March, the hail, the tornadoes. I was talking to an adjuster out on site yesterday who said in the last couple of years, Missouri's had more tornadoes than Oklahoma. He says it's switched, but people need help dealing with all of that. And one of our uh, new advertisers, somebody who we're working with, is Andrew D'Angelo from Revolve Construction. Once again, Revolve Construction. Uh, and Andrew's here to remind everybody how you handle these situations and what's going on. Andrew, I was out with you yesterday and the last couple of days working with you guys. The destruction I saw in the St. Louis area was insane. Uh, I know roofing companies are out trying to do the best that they can, and I'm proud to partner with you and Revolve for everything that you're doing. What has it been like for you to see what you've seen? You've had your own company for 18 years. Have you seen anything like this before?
I've been all over the country, and you see these type of storms in small communities, rural areas where it does just decimate everything, but you never see them in downtown municipalities like this.
I,
This is something I've never seen. I've been doing this a long time, and this is catastrophic on a level that it will take years to rebuild. I mean, years. I've
and those are
never
parts of
seen anything like it.
parts of St. Louis, and that's not even talking about the hail damage that put people back going back to March. South County in St. Louis got absolutely crushed back. I think it was March 14th, maybe March 25th, and then this new storm. If you can't explain to people, giving them an education of how this process works and getting their house or claims in, and how to take what's rightfully theirs to get themselves back on track.
Well, it's most important not to sign anything yet. It's important to talk with a roofer who you trust, get in with them. Depending on the type of damage you have, you might want to enter into a public adjuster realm, to where you get a third party that comes on the claim that fights on your behalf. And it has a lot more avenues that they can take because they're licensed in the state. There's a lot more they can do with claims. And they make sure that you don't get screwed by the insurance company. Uh, that's a route a lot of people for catastrophic damage should take at this point. Not just a roof and siding and stuff like that, but people who have major damage to their home. We're talking $50,000 plus to repair range. Uh, that's one of the most important things I'm seeing right now. But as far as damage goes, assess your damage, get your home back in order, get it tarped, whatever you need to do to get your home to where it is safe for you to be there. You need to do that immediately. It's within your policy to do that. And then once the adjuster gets there, it's time for somebody like me or our company to take over and then handle it, hold your hand from there to make sure that you're not piecemealed back together, that your roof is put back together correctly, your siding, every aspect of the exterior building envelope of your home.
Yeah. A lot of what I'm hearing right now is that people are being bombarded by different, companies coming to their homes saying, obviously, wanting to assess their damage, wanting to give them bids. And you hear a lot of negative stories in regards to this. You hear a lot of people that, have been told, that it would be one price, and then you've got someone else saying another. You've got people that, like you said, trying to, make you sign contracts. So for someone that might be leery, might be not very business savvy, what do you recommend that what would be the first steps for someone that, maybe they don't have a tree, sitting on top of their house or a hole in their roof, but they've, had some damage due to the storms. What is the first thing that you would tell them to do? Call a local, like if they haven't, let's say that they haven't been approached by a roofing company. Do you call a roofing company first? Do you call your insurance first? How does this work?
Okay, if they're directly in the storm path and they know they have damage, that it's visible, their
Mhm.
first call should be to their insurance company to
Okay.
make them aware. It's always good to notify your insurance company as soon as you know that there is damage, because that establishes the point of date of loss. And then it also establishes a lot of other parts of the claim. The sooner you let them know, the better it can go for you. Um, And then from that point, yes, get a hold of somebody to assess the damage. See where water could make entry, see where something could cause further damage to your home, and do anything you can as the policyholder to prevent that. It is your duty as the policyholder to protect your home after a storm, to prevent further damage.
A lot of
So
people don't.
yes,
Go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
no, go
Yes.
ahead, Vic.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. My uncle owned one of the largest commercial roofing companies in the St. Louis area for a long, long time, Shea Roofing on the east side. I've been around roofing my entire life, and I've gotten involved with Revolve now as well. And Andrew, I'm not just saying it because I'm saying I always tell you, you're one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. Roofing's important. Construction services, because you do everything, is important, but you should be solving world problems, not roofs.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
thank
say
you.
that, and I am not bullshitting you when I tell you that. I'm around him a lot. I'm like, damn, the ideas and the things that are coming out are amazing, but also caring. So I say that and letting people know what is the best number for people to call you, because I've been around you for some time as a friend, then as a business associate as well. And people didn't know I was out trying to help and work yesterday to get people tarped and to help, because we couldn't, all the roofing companies couldn't even get everybody tarped in the St. Louis area who need to be tarped. How can people get in contact with you, or what's the best way for the show?
So
And if you haven't had damage, maybe a loved one or a friend has, that you can help them and tell them where to go.
yeah, so right now you can get a hold of us at 314-400-8006, and that's 314-400-8006. That is our main line. It attaches to almost all of our sales guys, and so it almost always gets picked up.
I mean, it
My
literally
num
is. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrew.
my number, as the owner, I like to know that my customers can get a hold of me if there's an issue. I've ran my business that way from the start. So all my customers, if they ever need to get a hold of me, my number is 314-221-2428. If they need a direct assistance, or if it's 2 a.m. in the morning and a tree came in, we'll be there. Call me.
And make sure whoever you choose can do the job. I know it's very difficult to try to differentiate. And I can tell you this, it's always easier, whoever you choose to help, choose somebody that can do everything. You don't want to have multiple claims. You don't. Now, there's an argument, hey, this is an amazing roofing company. And they may be.
Yeah. And a lot of calls that we're getting right now are a lot of people calling, like, because we do siding, but because of how busy we are with other people's jobs, in order to do the siding, we would need the other aspects of the job. And also because a lot of the times the claim file is already muddled with from the original roofer. So a lot of the calls we're getting now are, hey, do you do siding? They can't find anybody to do the siding for the price that the insurance company gave. So the way that we do it, because we manage the whole claim file, before we start doing any trades, we make sure that the insurance company gives the correct amount of money to actually do the house correctly and not piecemeal it back together. So you're not left with, say, a lower dollar amount than what it costs to fix something at the end of the day. Because once you start doing the work process, once you start moving forward, if you have to switch contractors in the middle of that, it's very difficult for the new contractor to go argue with the insurance company after already had original contractor on that. And I hope I wasn't too all over the place with how I explained that, but essentially it's it makes the claim extremely difficult to work on when you have so many contractors working on one claim.
Makes sense.
There's one thing I want to kind of shore up so people understand this too. If this happens to you, a loved one, a friend, or if you know people, I didn't know this, but I would always like, what's the quote? You're a roofing company. You're a contracting company. What's the quote? Tell me, how much is this going to be? Can you please explain this? Because it doesn't matter what you may tell somebody, or a construction company or roofing company
Yeah.
tells somebody. It matters what the insurance company does when they send their adjuster out.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So when your insurance company comes out and they award you damages, they end up giving you an estimate or scope of work that they believe are the damages or what the loss was. And so you as a homeowner have to take that scope to a roofer or a contractor or somebody who knows how to read that. It's written in a program that's called Xactimate or Symbility, and essentially that's what all in the whole insurance industry uses, and it lists fair market pricing. And I say fair market, it's really not very fair, because when they're paying $100 to paint an entire room, it's almost impossible. So a lot of times what we do, we have a team that completely works on all these claim files. They build a new estimate out that does get sent to the insurance company, also in Xactimate, so in the same language as the insurance company, and then they fight that claim on that behalf. So maybe the roof consists of 20 line items on the insurance companies, what tear off, underlayment, roofing, hip and ridge, whatever it might be. Ours might have 100 line items. And the reason we do that is because the more we can break down, the more we can show cost of materials and the labor that goes into each line item. And so that is all done in Xactimate to the insurance company. And a lot of customers, well, I need a bill before, I want to talk to the insurance. We work with the insurance. We direct this to them. We know that we're not going to get the money that we're asking for. So we find a place somewhere in between. So giving you an estimate right now, yeah, I can give you an estimate for 60,000. But the reality of it, we're probably going to end up somewhere in the 40s. That's just kind of how this game goes at this point. The insurance companies are not awarding the correct amount of money for claims. And so the only way to do that is write a competitive estimate that you can negotiate on.
Talking with Andrew D'Angelo, the owner of Revolve Construction. Once again, Revolve Construction. Hey, is blown off siding covered or hail damaged siding covered?
Yes.
It's an easy question. Absolutely,
Yeah.
It is, Greg. Somebody else said they had to pay $10,000 over what the insurance would pay for a new roof at her mom's house because they said the damage wasn't solely from the storm, even though the adjuster said it was. And it was a large, well-known insurance company. I feel insurance is the biggest scam. That coming from the chat line.
I'll take a wild guess and say State Farm. I already know I'm correct, but yeah, we get those all the time. Here's the catch of all this. It takes a while. It takes weeks, sometimes months of going back and forth with an insurance company to get a hold of someone who cares. That's the issue, is that for the most part, when you first approach these claim files, you're talking with people very low on the totem pole. They don't have a lot of decision-making power. They don't have the dollars to buy a lot of the items that might need to be bought on a house. So it takes us a while just to get to the right person who is able to make those decisions within the insurance company through adjustments. So
Yeah.
it is a long process, but as long as you're patient, we almost get every one of these to where we get resolution for the homeowner, to where we won't piecemeal them back together. We'll bring them whole. So,
And I have seen that happen working with Revolve Construction. By the way, you can reach out to me as well if you have any questions. That's what I've been doing. We've been helping. I mean, I don't know, would we help like 20 homes just in the last 2 days, Andrew? I mean, tarping and getting them set up.
probably more than that, but yeah.
I mean, that was just.
When we say tarping, we're saying full roof tarping. I mean, not just a spot or two.
And eventually helping them. A lot of roofers and contractors, they do a good job. They do. I've seen them do it. They do good work. I think where you separate yourself, it's on the insurance side. You're a genius. You know how it works, and you've had proven results when it comes to working with insurance.
And we do it all. We handle the whole exterior. That's what kind of really separates us from a lot of them, is that all of our guys are in-house. Me and my superintendent, we train them all. We make sure they know what they're doing. So we're not subbing any of this out and hoping that the guy we bring in knows what he's doing. We know our guys know what they're doing. And most of them have been with me for over 10 years now. And they've just been huge assets. I mean, they are absolute family to me. So that's a big difference on us. Yes, the insurance, we fight that. A lot of roofing companies do that as well. We just do it a little differently. I think we try to take care of it a little bit more for the homeowner. Instead of trying to have the homeowner calling every day. We do that. We have a file where basically we have callers that call these insurance companies every single day, every 2 days on some of them, and then get resolution as quick as they can for the homeowner.
Yeah.
Well, people are continuing to add to the show right now, so you have super information. Because you're so good at this, we want to get you back on, because we've partnered together from this standpoint. I wanted to let people know we'll have educational interviews. We'll let people know a specific issue, a specific topic, and we'll show video. We'll show the work being done. Once again, contact revolve.construction. Literally check out the website, see everything that's going on. and what they do, and then call the number as well, 314-400 8006 314-400 8006. You can check Andrew out on the BBB as well if you want to. You really do an amazing job, and we're grateful that you're partnering with Cancel This. Maybe sometime we'll let you talk politics, even though you help people who are both conservative, Democratic, independent, don't care, don't give a shit. But I want to let everybody know that you're very like-minded with what we talk about on the show as well. Andrew, are you still there?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah, we lost him.
I lost you for a second there. I'm back.
Hey,
He's back.
I was just letting people know that you're like-minded with our show topic, so maybe we'll get you to talk politics sometime. On top,
You know, I'd love to.
of helping people who are of every party or don't care about any party at all. One quick question. Margie says, do you tarp with DEW blue? LOL. Ha, 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 ha.
Do I what?
Do you tarp
Tarp
with Do blue? LOL. That's all right. Yeah,
we
it's funny.
use actually one thing that we do that's different than a lot of these companies. We use what's called roof wrap, so we can actually shrink wrap your entire roof. So a lot of the times, a lot of these roofs right now have no ability to really tarp them or know that we're going to be able to hold the tarp down. So we have a special material, and we literally shrink wrap the entire roof all the way underneath the gutters and on the eave, so everything goes off. We're actually having a whole truckload of that shipped in right now.
This is what you get when you have somebody who's been coding since the age of 8. Like I said, you should be working with Elon and Doge instead of taking care of roofs. But we're glad that you're here taking care of roofs because people need it, and it is a big industry for sure right now throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area.
Yeah, I love working with my hands still and getting on these roofs, so it'd be hard for me to sit behind a desk.
That's true. Anything you want to remind people of before we let you go?
Nah, stay safe out there, guys.
You too.
Andrew D'Angelo, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Catch up with you later. Revolve Construction.